Hi, and welcome to another digital book talk from Massanutten Regional Library. Today's book talk is going to focus on books by the author Richard Peck. In his lifetime, Richard Peck wrote 35 novels for our middle grade and young adult readers, and today we're focusing on ones from his middle grade kind of collections. A very respected author, Mr. Peck won the Newbery Medal. He had books that were Newbery Honor Books. He won the Scott Odell Award, the Edgar Allan Poe Award, the Boston Globe Horn Book Award, and the Christopher Medal, as well as being a National Book Award finalist twice and being the first children's author to have been awarded the National Humanities Medal. So, all kinds of medals under his belt and all kinds of awards. Today we're going to look at The Best Man, The Mouse with the Question Mark Tail, Here Lies the Librarian, On the Wings of Heroes, and two more that I have hiding down here. So let's start with The Best Man. The Best Man is about 12-year-old Archer McGill. Archer has spent a lively 5 years of grade school with one eye out in search of grown-up models. Three of his best grown-up models are his grandpa, who is the great architect, his dad, the great vintage car customizer, and his Uncle Paul, who is, well, just plain great. These are the three that he wants to be. And along the way, he finds himself a fourth, Mr. McLeod, a teacher. In fact, the first male teacher in the history of his school. But now, here comes middle school and puberty. Puberty means change. Archer wonders how much change has to happen before his voice changes. And he doesn't see too far ahead, so every day or so a startling revelation breaks over him. Then a really big one, a really big revelation. When he's the best man at the wedding of two of his role models. But that gets so far ahead of our story. So if you want to find out the story as well as a few insights about the bewildering world of adults made by a boy on his way to being the best man that he can be, then you'll have to read the book. Our second book today is The Mouse with the Question Mark Tail. So in this book, we have a tiny, unnamed mouse. A mouse with notched ears and a tail that falls naturally into the shape of a question mark. Hence the title, right? He attends, or she attends, the Royal Mews Academy taught by a toothy headmaster. But after being bullied by other mice and driven by the essential question of his identity, the mouse leaves the academy and hatches a rather unformed plan to visit Queen Victoria, who is awaiting her Diamond Jubilee, in the hopes that the all-knowing monarch can tell him who he is. Along the way to Buckingham Palace, he rides in the ear of a horse named Peg, a rather waxy ear, and falls into a very pink punch bowl, and meets a cast of mice and bats who all serve the Queen. How will this epic adventure end? Will our hero ever get the advice he seeks from the Queen? Will he ever discover who he is and where he came from? You have to read the book to find out. Our third book today is On the Wings of Heroes. In this book, we have Davy Bowman. Davy Bowman has two heroes, his dad, who runs the local gas station, and his older brother, who is an Army Air Force cadet. Davy's life is filled with small town stuff, the stuff of World War II days, ration books, scrap drives, and civil defense drills, as well as some feisty old people, Davy's troublesome grandparents, and bullies, such as the classmate's mom, who comes to school to terrorize her daughter's timid teacher. Davy also has dealings with the mysterious Mr. Stonecipher while looking for scrap metal, and old Miss Titus, who will eventually become his teacher when the school runs short on teachers because of the war. You will have to read the book to find out how Davy and Miss Titus make it through this school year. Book 4 today is Here Lies the Librarian. In this book, we have Pee-wee and Jake. Pee-wee idolizes Jake, the big brother whose dreams of auto mechanic glory are fueled by the hard road that's coming to link their Indiana town and futures with the 20th century. Now, this is at a time where getting a hard road is a big deal instead of just having a dirt road come into your town. And motoring down the road comes Irene Ridpath, a young librarian with plans to astonish them all and turn Pee-wee's life upside down. This book is full of quirky characters, a folksy setting, classic cars, and hilariously larger-than-life moments. It's described as being an offbeat, deliciously wicked comedy, which you'll want to read for the humor. To finish off today's book talk, I have 2 books that you're going to want to read together, if you can. A Long Way from Chicago and A Year Down Yonder. These were my first introduction to Richard Peck's stories. And let's just say there's a grandma in here who will definitely leave you laughing. In A Long Way from Chicago, we have Mary Alice and Joey. And they are city slickers from Chicago who go down to a sleepy town in Illinois to visit their grandma every summer. So in 1929, they see their first corpse, a dead body, but he isn't resting very easily. In 1930, the Cowgill boys terrorize the town, and Grandma fights back with a dead mouse and a bottle of milk. In 1931, Joey and Mary Alice help Grandma to trespass, pinch property, aka steal, poach, catch the sheriff in his underwear, and feed the hungry, all in one day. And there's so much more because Joey and Mary Alice make that trip for 7 summers in a row to Grandma's house. And every time there's something funny and strange that happens while at Grandma's. In A Year Down Yonder, Mary Alice has turned to 15, and Joey's no longer going with her to Grandma's house, but she has to go this year. And so when she gets to Grandma's, there are still schemes happening and romances happening and a whole parade of fools that are made to suffer, including the teenage boys who think it's great fun to go around tipping over people's outhouses in the middle of the night. Now remember, their outhouses are their bathrooms. They don't have indoor plumbing. Grandma decides she's going to get back at these boys and teach them a lesson. And let's just say that lesson involves some hot tar and some feathers. One boy is not going to come out with his hair still intact. So, just a sampling of the 35 novels by Richard Peck. As you can see, there are a lot of things involving historical fiction and some that are more realistic fiction. But I highly recommend checking out a Richard Peck book today.